And we never, ever in a million years could have ever planned it. We could never have imagined that the Lord would do what he's done. But it has certainly come with its challenges. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Schoolhouse Rocked Podcast. Aby Rinella and I are back today to just finish talking about what God is doing this summer in our lives and our families through homeschooling, through the homeschool world. I haven't yet said y'all in a sentence, but I'm gonna aim to do that today. Okay? Today. Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to like pause and clap when you do it, or just act like it's all natural and we just keep going?
Just keep going with it. Yeah. I'll see if I can do it.
I'll just
because I'm going to have to like consciously do it. I can't just do it by accident.
So if it's awkward, don't act awkward. Just act like everything's
like I always say, y'all. Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm going to do it.
Okay. I'm going to work at that. So if you missed,
oh gosh, I'm nervous.
If you missed Monday and Wednesday, go back and listen. You'll know what we're talking about. I want to first thank our sponsor, CTC Math. If you guys are looking for a great math curriculum, go to ctcmath.com and try them out for free. ctcmath.com.
What does the CTC stand for?
I do not know.
Oh, I want to know. Find out next week.
That is a good question. I don't know that anyone's ever asked me that. I don't know. I should probably know the answer to that. We can make something up. I mean,
maybe it's just like the initials of the founders or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something in my head. I can't think of anything right now. Because it seems like there should be an M in there somewhere, right? Since it's a math.
Yeah, a math.
CMC.
Or like an A for arithmetic. Or
right. Yeah, I don't know.
C for crazy, because it does make
people crazy to try to do math.
Yeah, teaching crazy. It's got to be like something teaching crazy. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I don't know.
Or we'll just make it up.
I don't know. ctcmath.com. Check them out. Maybe you guys could go do some research, because we're homeschool
go to their
parents.
website. Maybe it says it on their website.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're supposed to be all about, right? Is researching things. And
we need to know why we're doing what we're doing and what CTC stands for if we're buying their curriculum.
Yeah. So, one of the funniest lines in the movie is when Sam Sorbo's, she's talking about like, we don't have to have all the answers to everything for our kids. And she's like, so if your kids come to you and say, why are frogs green? She's like, I don't know. Let's look it up. So
I love that. So I don't know. Let's look up why CTC is CTC. But now you'll never get it out of your head because we've repeated it so many times.
Yeah, they're great. We heard lots about CTC Math on the road, and lots of people have started using them because they've heard about them on the podcast and they love it. And so
that's awesome. Cool.
Okay. So we left a little bit of cliffhanger on yesterday, and talking about just what the Lord has shown us and just kind of some transitions that our family is making as a result of this trip, partly, but just kind of a result of the last several years.
And the seasons that God takes us in and out of.
Yeah.
So the Lord brings us in and out of seasons.
It has been 6 years almost since we started pre-production on the movie. And in December, it will be 6 years since we left California, which is, it blows my mind. I cannot believe that 6 years have gone by so quickly, but they have. And it has been an incredibly exciting journey and adventure for our family over these past several years. But it's also been,
do you know what's crazy?
hard.
I think I entered in at year 2.
Yeah, you did. You did. I know. We've been doing
and there
this.
were challenges then, but it's been amazing to see what God's done.
So this month marks 4 years that we've been doing the podcast.
Wow.
So 6 years we've been working on, that the movie's been, in our world. Of course, it came out in November. So it hasn't been out a year yet, but 6 years with the movie, 4 years with the podcast, and God's just done incredible things through this ministry. And we never, ever in a million years could have ever planned it. We could never have imagined that the Lord would do what he's done. But it has certainly come with its challenges, as anything does. I don't say that like, oh, my life is so hard and miserable. I don't mean that at all. It's just everyone has challenges, no matter what your job is or what your, family life is like. We all have different challenges and stuff. And so this has just been our family. But a couple years ago, I want to say, Aby, it was maybe 3 years. No. It was 2.5 years ago, because it was right before COVID, when I went to an event and I came back, and you and I did this whole episode on the ministry of motherhood. And we talked about just the importance of motherhood being our main focus and ministry and our priority above all the other things. And so I came back from that trip and I had been really busy with the movie and podcasting and all the things. And not that I was ignoring my kids by any means, but I was just busier than I wanted and should have been. And so I stepped back at that time and said, okay, this is like, I'm committing to really stepping back from everything but the podcast, which did happen in a lot of ways. But then as we moved and then as it got closer to the release of the movie, things got insanely busy again.
Right.
And so the past year for us has been crazy busy, and getting a movie out and into people's hands is no joke. And let me just tell you guys, if you're listening, you are our marketing department. You are our marketing team. We need your help to get this movie out because it's been so very hard to just make people just bring awareness of it. You know, we don't have $1 million budget like most people have for movies like this. And so we've just relied on the Lord, and he's getting it out there and into people's hands and in front of people. But it has been an extraordinary amount of work to do this. And so the past year has been busy beyond belief. So we went on this trip and we just came back, and I just said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just exhausted in every way. And so we prayed a lot about this. Garrett and I did, and we got to talk a lot about it. Our girls actually went to camp with their American Heritage Girls Troop the week after we got back from our trip. And so it gave Garrett and I several days to just sit and pray together and talk and just kind of plan like, okay, what next? And so what we really feel like the Lord is guiding our family to is to continue the ministry of Schoolhouse Rocked, which we're very happy about. But I am stepping back from everything except for recording the podcast.
Yay.
And so many people don't know all of the work that goes into making this podcast happen. I mean, every bit of, work that goes into just preparing for it, booking guests, scheduling guests, planning for them and what topics we're going to talk about. I mean, there's so many steps just to get to the podcast. And then after the podcast, so many steps and emails that have to be sent. And it's just a lot of preparation before and a lot of work after. And I was doing a lot of that. And in addition to that, of course, then all the movie stuff that was going on. Mm-hmm. And so Garrett said, okay, you're done doing all of the administrative stuff basically for Schoolhouse Rocked. And all I want you to do is record. Just basically sit down and record. And so it's taken a few weeks for us to kind of work through all the details and, again, administrative part that I've been doing and hand it off to him. But that's what's happening. And so he has now taken over all of that. And he's now doing all of the prep work and all of the, work after the podcast. And I get to just sit down and record and talk to people and be mom. And so now I'm going back again to full-time ministry of motherhood, which is very exciting. And again, it's not that I haven't been mom. It's not that we shouldn't work outside of our home. Both Aby and I, we work in a lot of ways, whether it's through your state organization or through Called Beyond or whatever, VBS at your church, whatever ministry the Lord's called you to, but trying to find that balance has been, it's difficult for me. And so I'm excited to be able to just step back from all of that and really just focus again on my family. We only have 2 more years of schooling left with Brooklyn. And that was one of the things I was like, wow, she's growing up so fast and she's going to be 17 this year. And we only have a couple more years of her as a child, not to say that when she's 18, we're kicking her to the curb, but she's very quickly approaching adulthood. Right. And I don't want to miss these next 2 years with her. No. And Lacey's going into 6th grade and I don't want to miss the middle school years with her. And so I'm excited just for this kind of new season. And
honestly, like we talked in that podcast, because that is our first call and our first ministry. And that is the thing that we're going to be held accountable for, and no other ministry. Like you said, you and I both do things outside. Well, I mean, I am in the home. I have no job, but I do a lot of ministry. Like we work with the church and we have, work with kids with families with disabilities, and I speak at different things. But that is all like 100% secondary. Those are all things I can say no to. It's not a clock in, clock out that it comes. but sometimes we forget to say no to those things because we feel that weight of them. And I just have to constantly remind myself, there are other people that can do all these other things.
Yeah.
There is nobody else that can be the mom to my kid, or to my kids. And it is the greatest.
You have more than one.
I do have more than one. Sorry. It is the greatest call. It is our number one job. It is our number one ministry. And it's enough. I think that's what a lot of moms think is it's enough. If that's all we do, we've done great things for eternity. Like it's more than enough. And like you said, you get to a certain season, and I'm there too, where you stop counting up to where you are. Like, how many years have you homeschooled? You don't say that anymore. It's how many more years do I have left? And it kind of becomes this not scary and not sad, but there is a place of mourning. Like we are on the end of it. And so we want to put we don't want to miss a moment because we realize now how fast those moments go.
So fast. So fast, shockingly fast. I cannot believe that Brooklyn's going to be in 11th grade this year. I know. I honestly, I mean, it seems like just yesterday, I have a picture of my girls on Brooklyn's first official day of kindergarten, and she's holding Lacey, and Lacey's just a baby, and Brooklyn had just gone to swim lessons. And I look at this picture and I'm just like, how has this time gone by so fast? But I'm so grateful that I've had my kids home with me and been able to enjoy these years. And I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss these next 2 years. And so I'm so grateful that the Lord is still allowing me to be able to do the podcast. And at the same time that he has allowed Garrett the ability to take over all of the administrative stuff. And then of course he does all the hard work. He does all the editing. He does all the posting. He does all the hard work. So really Garrett's carrying the Schoolhouse Rocked ministry kind of on his own, with the girls and I cheering him on from the side, and then me recording podcasts. And so, it's how we work together as a family and as a team. And
it is. I had an older woman say to me once that was a homeschool mom, and she was an empty nester at that point. And she said, there will always be a state of mourning when your kids grow and leave. But she said the one commitment we made is that we would look back and we would say we never wasted a moment and we have no regrets, meaning it's so fast and so short that to send them out 8 hours a day, or to get so busy doing the other things God's asked us to do. Like, I mean, we could get very busy, even just in cleaning the house, that we miss those moments. And so that's the one thing I want to be able to at the end. And like what you're saying now, recalibrating is, I want to look back and say, it's so fast, but I had every moment I could. I didn't waste a single moment,
Yeah. Amen.
I'm so proud of you and excited. And I bet your girls are excited.
They are. It's a really good thing for our family. And we've already seen just that transition and the fruit of, taking place in our family, where I just have more time for them. So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
What we do at IEW is break through the noise of the grammar and the writing prompts, and we say, this is what you do, step by step. And I've witnessed it over and over again, both watching Andrew teach and hearing from parents, this is the best writing program. We've made it so easy and made it really affordable. So any mom can teach writing to their children using our course, and we guarantee it.
To try 3 weeks of free lessons, visit IEW.com. We are back with Aby Rinella.
So we were just talking about this. So does this mean you're still weekly podcasting?
Yes.
Schoolhouse Rocked is still going to be there.
Yep. Yeah.
And we get to hear your happy voice and your smiling face and the amazing guests.
Yes.
That's so awesome.
And you'll get to still come on with me, which is fun. And so, we have a lot of really exciting guests that we already have lined up, interviews lined up with them and stuff. So it's really fun to see what the Lord's doing. So there's that. I want to give some exciting stats on the podcast and just how God is growing this. Well, before that, okay, I want to give you you want to hear the 2 best movie testimonials we've gotten?
Yes, I do.
They're really good. They're really powerful.
Okay.
So the first one, this is from Lori. And she said, this is about the movie, not about the podcast. It's about the Schoolhouse Rocked movie. Schoolhouse Rocked, the Homeschool Revolution. The movie.
SchoolhouseRock.com.
SchoolhouseRock.com. Yeah,
Go get your copy now.
So this is what she said about the movie. Best movie ever.
That was it. That's awesome.
Best movie ever. And I was like, ever? Like, I mean, that's
like better than The Princess Bride.
Right. Better than The Princess Bride.
That's amazing.
Because The Princess Bride is the best movie ever. But
when you walk away, are you like, I can make a difference for the kingdom? Or you feel this calling on your life, or you feel encouraged? I mean, kind of. You do walk away feeling a lot of those things with Princess Bride, but not for kingdom work.
Not kingdom work. No.
Definitely not. I mean, like.
You feel warm fuzzies.
Kingdom work. Yeah, and you do have a lot of great liners to use in almost every situation in life.
As you wish. I mean, yeah.
But that's not kingdom work. That has no eternal value.
It has no eternal value.
So Lori's
I think people sometimes don't think what they think it means. How does that line go?
I don't think you know. Oh my word, we got to watch it. Okay.
So Lori said best movie ever. And then we got another review from Gloria.
Cool.
Here was her review. Best movie ever.
Wow.
Literally. So I was like, the same review. I mean,
that's
it just was
amazing.
Right? Yeah. And
that's a bold statement.
It
Not
is
like this
statement.
is an amazing, incredible movie or a must see. Usually you get must see, but best movie ever?
Best movie ever. And again, I'm like, ever? And let me say, I'm not saying this like we made the best movie ever. I'm saying, look what the Lord did. He made the best movie ever through the most inadequate family on the planet to make a movie about homeschooling. What? Are you kidding me?
But here's why. Because it's God's message. Because you can't go wrong when you're speaking God's truth.
Yeah.
And this movie is full of what God says that's the best for our family for a time such as this. So how could it not be the best movie ever is what I want to say.
So all praise and glory to him. I mean, truly,
awesome.
honestly, but I was so just kind of stunned by those, like really best movie ever.
That's so cool.
It's such a blessing to read that. Only God could bring about a movie through our family, through any family, in which people would say best movie ever. So
that's cool.
So anyway,
he's in the business of best.
Yeah. God is the best. He made a great movie called Schoolhouse Rocked. Cool. Okay, so here's some stats on the podcast that are so exciting. And I didn't tell you this yet, Abby, but this is so cool. This summer, we hit, and actually it might have even been in the spring, we hit over 500,000 downloads for the podcast. So Garrett looked last night, and we have had a total of 776,340 downloads of this podcast. Isn't that incredible?
Are you kidding me?
No.
Whoa.
This, little Yvette and Abby and some people and guests who the Lord brings together to talk about homeschooling. I mean,
that's amazing.
That's incredible. Oh, again, only the Lord. So that's amazing. So we are very quickly reaching 1 million downloads.
Wow. What are we going to do?
I don't know. We're going to have a party, but we are. I love to tease her about this in the first episode.
Yeah.
We are going to have a contest, and this is going to be fun. So I'll tell you about the contest in a minute.
Okay.
In the last 30 days, here's another incredible statistic. We have had over 58,000 downloads. In the last 30 days.
That's unbelievable.
I know. So many people are coming into homeschooling right now, and they need answers and they need encouragement and they need to know what to do. And so they're finding the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast. Much of that is due to our listeners because they're sharing it with their friends. I mean, so many people are like, oh, I heard about your podcast from, such and such friend, or from this Facebook page, or from this Instagram page, or whatever. So people are sharing about it, and they're listening, and they're encouraged by it. And so they come back and they listen more. And so we have had over 58,000 downloads in the last 30 days. Yeah.
That's like 2,000 downloads a day.
That's amazing.
Because, I like math. And that's mind-blowing.
Yeah, it is mind-blowing, which, maybe some people are listening to that and they're like, well, that's not a very big number because, there are like TikTok videos that get millions of downloads in a week. Well, okay, we're not TikTok and we don't get millions. But 58,000 people that's not 58,000 people, but 58,000 downloads where God is speaking into the hearts of people and impacting their lives. I mean, we could not ask for more.
That's more important than the latest dance.
Yeah. Well, TikTok. In addition to that, I told you some people listen and some people watch it on YouTube. So in the last 30 days, we've had over 41,000 YouTube views. That's in addition to the 58,000.
Okay, that one makes me weird and nervous because I'm like, so it does. So people are watching me when I fix
your hair.
fix my hair and pick my nose. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yes.
But people do know what we look like.
Yeah. Which is why people recognize us when we're in Florida.
Yeah, because that's what's strange is I had someone, this is funny, at our convention, and this woman would just stare at me. It was when I just got there. So I wasn't known as a speaker, or I wasn't like, I had just pulled in. And she just kept staring at me, and she was with another friend. And I finally saw her friend like push her towards me. And I was like, this is so weird. And then she came up and was like, ah, da, da. And I was like, how do you know what I look like? And so that's how she knows.
Yeah. Yep. Because lots of people watch.
Hey.
Hi to all of our new friends. It's so fun. So those are just some exciting stats. The last one I'll share is on Podbean, which is how it's the platform that we use to broadcast this podcast. It hit number 3 on the kids in the kids and family category. Well, if you know how many kids and family podcasts there's thousands of them. And so we hit number 3 for kids and family, which is crazy. So God is good.
Wow.
He's moving mountains that we never could have imagined that he would move. It's not that he couldn't, but he is doing great things through this ministry. And as we continue to just walk forward and walk in obedience for such a time as this, to impact lives and impact families through the gospel, through his truth, this is what he's doing. And so this is not our podcast. It's his podcast to encourage me, to encourage you, Aby, to encourage our listeners, just to bring the resources that we need to keep going, to keep moving forward, to keep discipling our kids and pointing them towards Jesus. And so it's so fun. And I'm so thankful to have you part of this. I love it. I love having you here.
I do too. And if you are one of those, those numbers are so big to me. I can't even 60,000, whatever thousand. Reach out to us because we want to, I really feel like for such a time as this, sometimes we feel lonely. And sometimes we feel like, I'm not kidding, we're like the only one that stands for the things we stand for, or they're making the choices we are. And so as much as you think that it's Yvette and I encouraging you guys, like reach out to us so we know we're not alone either. Like we're in this together, and God has used technology, which I don't love technology. I don't like all the social media. I don't, but I see the incredible ways that he is using it to yoke and knit us. And so let's be more than a podcast. Let's be a community. So reach out to us.
Yeah. Yep. I love it. Well, one of the best ways to reach out to us is to sign up for our newsletter. And just keep in the loop. You can find out what we're doing, where the movie's going to be showing, and how to pray for our family. Sometimes we'll just put in there like, here's what's going on with the ministry, with our family. Here's how you can pray for us. And lots of people do. I love get messages from people saying, hey, we're praying for you. Or sometimes I'll get a text. I got one recently. We got to meet this sweet family, the Miller family, who I've talked to her on the phone, and we've been in contact with her for years. And finally got to meet her in person and on this trip. It was so much fun. And so she sent me a text the other day and just said, how can I pray for you? I'm thinking about you today. And it's just amazing. My other friend, Rachel, she does the same. She, we just go back and forth, and how can I pray for you? And so it's just incredible to see what God is doing through people that I've never even met, but God is using this ministry to impact them. And so, so thank you for that. So I'll tell you about the contest really quickly. We never do contests.
I've never known you to do. I'm on the edge of my seat. Am I eligible?
Yeah.
No,
I'm
not.
Yes, you're eligible. Is there like some legal thing against that where, employees of Schoolhouse Rocked don't get to?
Okay, I'm not. I won't win it, but I'm excited about it. So tell me about it.
You're an employee.
Wait, define employee. Right. I don't think you know what that word means.
I don't think that word means what you think it means. Oh, goodness gracious. We need to do a whole episode where we use,
nothing but quotes from
Princess Bride quotes.
Princess Bride. Okay, wait, really quick. So quick. Years ago, before I was part of the Homeschool Idaho team, before I was even homeschooling, actually, so I wasn't there, their entire convention was Princess Bride themed.
Really?
Kid you not.
How is that possible?
So clearly it must be a homeschool thing also. Like we're not the only ones.
I think so.
Some people frowned upon it, but I heard overall a lot of people enjoyed it. Okay, go to the contest.
Right. Okay.
To the contest.
To the contest. So that this might be a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Oh, wow.
If you miss your opportunity, you may never have it again. Is the pressure on?
Yeah, get to it. So, or dying.
Here it is. We are going to give away mail to people 5 DVDs. We're going to give away 5 DVDs to 5 listeners.
One person gets 5 DVDs?
No.
Okay.
5 different people will
Okay, that makes
win a
more
DVD.
sense.
Okay,
Gotcha.
so 5 different people. Here's all you have to do to enter the contest.
Okay.
Leave a review for the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast on iTunes.
Wait,
if you don't
it?
have iTunes, then get iTunes and leave a review. It's so simple. Literally just go to your phone, pull up the iTunes app.
Well, you guys are already there. If you're listening to this right now,
well,
you're
no,
probably...
not necessarily, because some people listen to podcasts through different apps. But if you can get to iTunes, borrow your friend's phone if you don't have iTunes on your phone. Go to it and just click the reviews under the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast. Click on reviews and click on write a review and write a review. After you do that, because we don't have any way to contact you after you do that, here's how we'll contact you. Go to schoolhouserocked.com/summer.
Okay.
Schoolhouserocked.com/summer. We will put that link in the show notes. Schoolhouserocked.com/summer. And it will take you to just a very simple form to fill out and just put your name, your address, and your email address. And then from all of our responses that we get, we will choose 5 winners.
Wow.
We will do this.
How do you choose them? Randomly, or like the names that you like the best, or?
No, we will do like a random drawing. Because I think
so
legally,
it's not like that's a pretty name. We'll use that one.
No.
Okay,
no,
that's good. Nice.
No.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that it's random.
Yeah, no, we'll do like a random draw.
That feels fair.
We'll number everybody and we'll just do a random draw. So if a lot of people do it, then you will have less of a chance. But if only 5 people do it, then you have a pretty good chance of doing this. So
but here's the deal. If you don't do it, you have a 0% chance of winning.
Right.
That's math.
And
so
here's what
I
we're
would
asking.
do it.
Here's what we're asking. You can leave just a 5-star review and just hit the 5 stars, or you can write a review. We are asking you, please, to write a review, because this really does help other people to hear about the podcast and to be encouraged by the podcast like you are encouraged by the podcast. So please write an actual review, because I read reviews all the time on products, on podcasts and stuff.
I do.
I want to know what other people think of it. And that's actually what kind of sells me on stuff sometimes. Like, okay, this is what people like. This is what people don't like. Right. And so write a review, if you will. Go to schoolhouserock.com/summer, fill out the little form that's on there. The contest will run through the end of July. So the end of July, we will pick a winner. Beginning of August, we will announce who those winners are. We will contact the winners and we will send you a free Schoolhouse Rocked DVD. So please, please, please leave a review. We're doing this because we ask people to leave reviews, and a lot of people do, but most people don't. And people tell us. So when we were on the road, people would tell us, oh, I love the podcast, and tell me all the reasons why. And I know people do the same with you. And I'm like, that's great. Can you write that down and put it on iTunes?
So that other people can be encouraged. I mean, the end goal here, well, it is that you get a free DVD. But the real end goal is so that we can get the message of teaching and training our children up in the Lord, making an impact on the culture around us. We can get that message out to more people. That's the end goal. And you might get a DVD along the way. So that's it. Schoolhouserocked.com/summer. Leave a review for the podcast. We would love that. If you would do that, just take a few minutes. It's super, super simple to do. Love
Aby,
it.
Thank you for being with me.
I thank you for letting me. This is fun. I love it. I missed it.
I know. I love getting to chat with you. I wish, all of our listeners could just sit with us around a table and we could just dine together, have coffee together, have
heaven.
Brownies and heaven. Yes, that will be amazing. So thank you guys so much for listening. You are an absolute blessing to us. You can always reach out to us, podcast@schoolhouserocked.com, and just let us know how we can bless you, what guests you'd like to have on, what you want us to talk about on the podcast, all those things. We're here for you. We are here to serve you. So.
And can I just throw out, we did talk about, so I just want to say, because we talked about it this week, if you want more information on Called Beyond Adventures and kids, this is how this works. We're really word of mouth, and the way to support Called Beyond Adventures is to put us in contact with kids that need to be blessed, that want to be blessed. Help us, connect us with families that we can bless and serve. So calledbeyondadventures.org. And that's that.
Sounds awesome. We'll put that link in the show notes too. Thank you, Aby, for being with me this week. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you back here on Monday with another fantastic guest. Bye.
If you really want to raise up a leader, if you really want to have a free thinker, if you really want to have an awesome American, now they're free. you're really free to raise up a leader.
I'm hopeful because I think homeschoolers in general really value this nation. They value the history. I just see homeschooling as such a gift to the family, and that's the bulwark of our society. What I'm also very hopeful for, and what I see as a necessity, is a return to virtue. The only reason that this society was as prosperous as it has been is because of virtue. And so if we lose this virtuous attitude that we used to have, and that's slowly, I think, being eroded, if we completely lose it, society is doomed, because there aren't enough laws to pin you into a position of virtue.
Yes, we have the opportunity to equip them academically to do excellent work throughout the rest of their life. We are taking this very seriously, that we are preparing our children to do what God calls them to do. But beyond that, we are very much keyed in on social skills and how they interact with people and how to do laundry and how to make their own eggs in the morning. And all of these just very practical things, we have the time to really invest in teaching our children so that we can churn out very well-rounded young men and women that really are ready to be world changers as God opens doors for them.
And they will become kind of the leaders, the self-educated, motivated, entrepreneurial, energetic leader types that we kind of feel a desperate need for.